Hello, Lee here with another video, just to keep things ticking over in the international break before we get crack on with Millwall next week. It's international week, so this is international related. It's just my Sunderland 11 of players who have been capped by England. Doesn't matter if they've been capped once, twice, 70 times, doesn't matter. So the best players I think that I've watched players for Sunderland that have played for England, and there's a few. I was shocked by a few names that won the list. Just something to whet the appetite while you're preparing for Thomas Tuchel's first game tonight against Latvia. So let's see how this new regime goes. The old thing where a new regime comes in, everyone gets themselves excited, and hopefully it doesn't fall flat on its face. Start off in goal is Jordan Pickford. Played 73 times for England. Made his debut in 2017. Came through the academy at Sunderland, multiple loan spells, but he made his debut under Sam Allardyce in 2016, then became the number one the year after under David Moyes after an injury to Renonia. We unfortunately got relegated. Then he moved on to Everton for 30 million quid and has gone on from strength to strength, really. I'd go as far as say he's one of the most under-scrutinised goalkeepers in the league, if not the world, because whenever he makes a mistake, there's a big song and dance about it, but there's not the same when it comes to other goalkeepers. Right back, he was a centre-back for Sunderland, Wes Brown. Played 23 times for England, scoring once. He signed in 2011 under Steve Bruce from Manchester United with John O'Shea, and he played 87 times for Sunderland. But you never really seen the true Wes Brown. He was part of the League Cup side that got to the final and the Great Escape that season as well. And by all accounts, he is a better defender than John O'Shea, but obviously his injuries stopped him from playing as many times for Sunderland as people would have liked. Centre-back, the first one, is Steve Bold. He's probably one of the best centre-backs I've ever seen play for Sunderland. I was only 9 at the time. Only played 2 times for England in 1994, but I suppose he had a lot of competition back then. Played 21 times for Sunderland when he signed on a free from Arsenal, but unfortunately retired the year after. Did captain Sunderland, but I think his legs just gave away in the end. And he said he's went on record and said he enjoyed his time at Sunderland, and I think him and Paul Butler had a good partnership that season. Next to him, didn't really want to put him in, but I had no choice as Julian Lescott was part of the David Moyes daycare team that got relegated in 2017. But he played twice for Sunderland. He's played 26 times for England, made his debut in 2007. Was good everywhere else, came to Sunderland, and he should never have ever been anywhere near Sunderland for how shite he was. Sorry to Aston Villa fans, he was shit at Aston Villa, which is why he ended up at Sunderland. Left back, obvious one, is Michael Gray. He was capped in the First Division with Kevin Phillips when we won the league with 105 points. And he played 363 times for Sunderland, did Michael Gray. And captain the side, was part of the 105-point season, was part of the 95-96 season as well, when that got promoted under Peter Reid's first season, then got moved from right wing to left back, and formed a good partnership with the likes of Alan Johnston, Michael Gray, didn't have a good partnership with himself, Julio Arca, but then he goes and obviously when it went to shit, he left to Celtic and went on to pastures new. He only played 3 times for England, and it was all in 1999, so it was all when he played for Sunderland, but he never really played for England that much. Obviously, Ashley Cole, another player that hasn't made the list, but Wayne Bridge, loads of England left backs at that time that could have played over Michael Gray, and it was about right. Going for a 4-4-2, the old Mike Bassett 4-4-2. On the right mid, I know who's you're thinking. I'm not putting him in, but I'm putting in Stuart Downing. Only played 7 times on loan from Sunderland, but he made that much for a contribution. He scored 3 goals in 7 games. Went back to Middlesbrough after his loan spell and went straight in the first team. And he took his little thing from there to there. And he, by all accounts, for the 7 games, he was the best player on the pitch in all 7 games. He was a head and shoulders above what we were in the First Division under Mick McCarthy. Played 35 times for England, but what shocked me was he's never scored for England. I thought he would have gotten 1 goal along the way. Centre midfield was Kieran Richardson. He played 8 times for England, scored twice. I think it was on his debut where he scored twice. He played 134 times for Sunderland when he signed in 2007 under Roy Keane. Scored a few goals along the way, but his most famous one is obviously the Mags free kick. Can never forget that. Probably the best free kick I've ever seen live, for how close he was to the goal, the height of the game, what the scoreline was of the game, what happened after the game when we won the game. unbelievable. And look, he played a lot of positions for Sunderland, did Kieran Richardson. I think he played left back, left mid, centre mid, number 10, played up front at one time, played on the right wing. Proper utility man was Kieran Richardson. And he was a good servant for Sunderland. And when he left, in 2013, he was missed a little bit because we didn't replace him adequately enough when he continued to play in the Premier League for Fulham and Aston Villa. So he was a good little servant for. I like Kieran Richardson when he played for Sunderland. Alongside him is obviously Jordan Henderson. He's captain England. Came through the ranks at Sunderland. Made his debut in 2008. And I think it was a 7-0 defeat away at Chelsea. Before he had a previous loan spell at Coventry. He did play 79 times for Sunderland in the 2.5 seasons he was there. And he was obviously went on to Liverpool, done what he's done, played 81 times for England. He's captain England, he's captain Liverpool, done everything he has. He's probably been the best academy graduate we've produced. And at the present moment in time, you don't know what Chris Rigg's going to achieve. There's people like Matty Young in there, obviously Harrison Jones is coming through. But at the present moment in time, Jordan Henderson is probably the best academy graduate we've ever produced. Left mid, I know he's a striker, but Danny Welbeck. Played 42 times for England, scored 16 goals. He made his debut in 2011 while on loan at Sunderland from Manchester United, where he played 28 times, scored 6 goals. But again, as it's been with Danny Welbeck's career, his injuries affected him playing for Sunderland as much as he could have. I don't think he would have stayed. He went back to Man United, went straight back in the first team. But I like Danny Welbeck. And I think he played off the left wing for us as well. When he played Jan and Bent up front, yeah, Danny Welbeck in there. I was there, he scored a few goals. Obviously, the 6 goals he scored a winner against Everton. He scored a double at Wolves, I think, when we won the game. He's gone on to achieve what he has. I mean, he's currently still smashing up with Brighton, knocking the Mags out the FA Cup. So, he is a very good footballer. And as he said when he walked off, and he said he's a Mackham at heart, you'll always remember his loan spell at Sunderland. The front two is an obvious one. Start off with my hero as a kid, Kevin Phillips, signed for Sunderland in 1997 from Watford. You all know the story, he was in the middle of signing for Ipswich. That couldn't happen. He came to Sunderland and he scored 130 goals in all competitions in 235 appearances before leaving to go to Southampton. And his first 4 seasons were like unbelievable. It was 35, 25, and he was out for 4 months when he scored that 25 goals. 30, then 18, which constantly, season after season, bagging 20, 25 goals a season. And when we went to shit, obviously his goals stopped. You had someone be crossing them in from him on one side, Alan Johnston crossing them in from the other, Niall Quinn knocking it down for him. I see he's my hero. I was 9, 10-year-old watching him, and it broke me heart when he went to Southampton. Then he hurt us even more when he turned us down and went to West Brom, because I was adamant he was going to come back to Sunderland when Quinny was manager, and he didn't. But then he went and scored that many goals as he did. He only played 8 times for England and capped the same time as Michael Gray in Division 1. But you look at it from a point of view at that time, as he maybe should have been capped more. He didn't get a minute at Euro 2000, even though he scored 30 goals in the season. But you look back then, you had Andy Cole, obviously, Knobhead, who played for them down the road. Les Ferdinand, Teddy Sheringham, Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen. He probably came through, if you're looking at an international level, at the wrong time, because he had all them strikers, all that competition to deal with. And obviously, you weren't going to break it. Obviously, Alan Shearer was the main man, and he played Michael Owen. Michael Owen won the Ballon d'Or, 18, 19-year-old. You're not going to get in front of him. So, it's just a shame he never scored for England. And finishing off the team is Jermaine Defoe. He was capped 57 times for England, scoring 20 goals. He scored that winner in the World Cup when we were shit under Fabio Capello, and he played in the last group game and he scored and he won the game 1-0. He did get a cap at Sunderland in 2017. He had that day where we had Bradley Lowry out with him. He scored, and it was a good little day for JD. He signed for us twice. Obviously the main swap deal with Josie Altidore in 2014. He scored 37 goals in that spell, played 93 times. Then re-signed in 2022. in League One under the Alex Neil, Lee Johnson, Christian Speakman era, and he played 7 times. So he has played a flat 100 games for Sunderland, but retired in 2020 because he didn't want to take minutes away. But a lot of people at the time were angry, saying, "Oh, he should have stayed on for the season, getting himself promoted." But if he doesn't feel like his legs are there, and apparently had a falling out with Alex Neil, so you understand it from a point of view. Just a few notable mentions that haven't made the team: Darren Bed, Fraser Campbell, and I didn't really play much for Sunderland, but Andy Cole, Wayne Bridge, as I mentioned, Gavin McCartney was capped while playing for Sunderland, Sven-Goran Eriksson's first ever team, and Danny Rose, he was on loan at Sunderland, the 2012-2013 under Martin O'Neill. He's played for England. So there's a few names out there. There's a few others. If I was going to be thinking, I could have gone way back until the 60s and everything like that, but I wasn't alive in the 60s, so I can't really grudge on my 1 to 11. Well, I hope you liked it. If you have, brilliant. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's totally free. If you think it's a massive waste of time, just massive waste. If you think it's a massive waste of time, just don't watch. Just something to keep the channel ticking over during the international break, and instead of being awkward silent, just keep things ticking over. So to recap the team: Pickford in goal, Wes Brown, Steve Bowles, Julian Lescott, Michael Gray in defence, midfield Stuart Down on the right, Danny Welbeck on the left, Kane Richardson, John Henderson in the middle of the park, with Kevin Phillips and Jermaine Defoe up front. Quite a decent Sunderland side, if you ask me. If you have your own ideas, fans from a previous generation, if you want to put anything in, just leave it in the comments below. See you next week for the Millwall preview, and so I'll get back to you with that whenever I can. We'll look for an opposition side of things. We'll mention that on Monday, try and get it out Wednesday, Thursday, ready for the game on Saturday, then the review will come on this probably Sunday and Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the match tonight if you're watching. How are the lads?